ng-root directive allows us to enable URL routing to our application. Okay, the ng-root module supports URL management. So like for example here in Gmail. Okay, so now we are in inbox. Okay, so the URL showing inbox. So if you click on draft, okay, the URL change it to draft. Okay, if you click on here, so the label and coding. Okay, the URL change it to like this. So like this we can apply URL routing for our application. Okay, so if once you are implementing any application, okay, and compulsory we need to implement like a menus. Okay, menus, vertical menus or horizontal menus. Okay, so when you click on the some particular menu, okay, when you need to redirect from existing page to new page. So but in AngularJS application, so no need to redirect total entire page. Okay, so here we can implement single page application. Okay, in AngularJS, so only one starting page is there, index.html form is there. Okay, in that page we can implement menus like horizontal menu or vertical navigation menus. Okay, so when you want to redirect from a particular page, okay, from particular like for example products, contacts, okay, and services menus is there. You want to redirect to products or services, so you can click on menu and redirect to that page. But in AngularJS, only a particular template will display in the HTML index.html form. Okay, so only index.html form is there, only one form is there, but the entire content is in templates. Okay, so by using ng-root directive we can display the templates in the particular main index.html form. Okay, there is a one directive, okay, ng-view directive is used to display the templates in main HTML form. Okay, so for this ng-root directive we need to include AngularRoot.js file. Okay, so this is ng-root is a directory, okay, dependency for this to work in our application. So without using AngularRoot.js file, okay, we cannot implement routing for application. So this is the third party module. Okay, this module we need to use in application module. Okay, so this is the statement to create module for the application. Okay, angular.module, and this is our application name, and this is the third party modules. Okay, so in this example we are using AngularRoot.js file. So this AngularRoot.js file has one module. Okay, that file also has one module. So the module name is ng-root. So if we use this ng-root, we can access all the functionalities from this, okay, AngularRoot.js file. So without using this, you cannot access the functionality from this AngularRoot.js file. So and after that we need to configure the routing for the application. So for example, so you can create one new application that is called ng-root. Okay, ng-root is our application folder. So there is no files in this folder. So open that folder. ng root. Okay, so empty folder, project folder is open here, and first of all add one index.html form. Okay, in real-time applications also same. So this is the process to create single page applications. First we have to call the library, okay, AngularJS library, and here ng app equal to my app. Next ng controller equal to my controller. So for example, here we need to create implement menus, okay, navigation menu. So already in CSS we implemented the menu, okay, horizontal navigation, okay. So we can copy this menu, so copy this menu into our project index.html, and CSS also copy, add one CSS file, my styles, okay. So this is the CSS for menu, so call that CSS file here in header section, href equal to my css dot and relation attribute style sheet, okay. And add one JS file here, that is app.js, okay. Index.html form is created and styles also created, okay. So menu is implemented here, that menu contains products, home products, and courses is .NET and Java, and contact us menu. So these two are sub menus and these are our main menus. So when you click on products page, okay, products menu, you need to display the products page, okay, in the index.html form only, okay. Don't redirect from index to products.html form. So the products.html template will be displayed in the index.html form only. So that is called single page application. Ng view directory, okay. So this is the directive to display templates. So and after that create module for the application, app equal to angular dot module my app, okay. So application module is created. So first of all run this example, okay. So only menu is there and there is no content here, okay. Next we need to implement home template and products template and .NET template and Java and contact us template, okay. Not the HTML forms. Using HTML language we can create templates. So create here views, okay, views folder, and in that views folder add html form, okay, home.html. But this is html form, but remove, okay, doc type html tag and html tag, okay, header section and body section, entire thing we can remove. So now use only html language to create the template. h1 tag, this is my home page, okay, and also you can use another html elements also. Okay, so like this we can implement templates. Don't use header section and body section and doc type html tags. Okay, templates nothing but only use only html language to create templates. And one more thing is, another one is product. So create products page, products.html form, remove this h1 tag, this is products page, okay, and the next .NET and Java and contractors. This is .NET courses page, next HTML form, Java, okay, only HTML h1 tag is using, okay, you can implement anything here, you can design here. This is Java courses page, next contact us, okay, here contact us, okay, like us fan, company name, okay, and fax, and email ID. So like this we can display the contact information. Okay, so now we need to configure the routing for the application. So templates is created, okay, and app.js file also created here. So next part is we need to call the angular root.js file. First of all, so after angular.min.js file only, we need to call this root.js file. Okay, before angular.min.js file, don't call before angular.min.js file. After the angular.min.js file only, you have to call this. So once open this file in the browser, okay, you can find it here, module for the application, module for this file, JS file. Okay, where ng-root module equal to angular.module. Okay, so ng-root is the module. So here this is ng. So now this ng-root is the module for the enter this .js file. So using this ng-root module, we can access all the functionality in this JS file. So now ng-root, and after that app.config, okay. So this is the syntax for the config. Okay, root provider, and function also root provider. Next root provider dot when template URL. In this template URL, ucaps to display home page when you run the application directly. Views folder home.html form is there, and we can create we can create separate control for each and every template. Controller, the home controller. Next, title, home page. Next one, dot when products template URL views products.html form. Okay, when you click on the products link, it will open the products.html template in index.html form. Next, separate controller for products page. The product controller, comma, title. Okay, this is page title. Next again, when products and .NET template URL views .NET .html form controller and .NET controller page title .NET. Next, when you click on Java template URL views java.html and controller java controller. Next title java. Next contact us, template url, views contact us.html, controller contact controller. Next page title, okay, contact us, and next otherwise, finally otherwise. Home and template url, views home.html form. Okay, so this is the routing configuration for the application. Okay, for every link we need to configure the HTML templates. Okay, next here routing is in href, use only slash. Okay, and products for .NET. This is the routing for the template Java and contact us. Okay, so this is the routing configuration for the each and every template. So now run this example once. Okay, so actually this is getting some error. Okay, so next we need to call the app.js file here. Okay, app.js file. So now run this example. Okay, AngularJS library version is changing. Okay, some in current version, yeah, and Angular root file is not working perfectly. There is another error. If here any spelling mistake also, it will not work. Root provider, template URL, views, controller, title. controller title. So this is also fine. No spelling mistakes. Root provider, template URL. Next here controller we need to implement dot controller my controller and function scope. And now want to check this. Okay, so this is working now. So home form is displayed here. Go to inspect. You can see here in ng view directive. Okay, ng view directive h1 tag. This is my home page and another div tag. Okay, the content is displaying here. So this is the ng view directive to display the templates in main index.html form. Okay, so now home page is displaying. Click on products. Okay, this is products page and URL also change it to products and click on .NET. This is .NET courses page. Click on Java. Okay, URL also changed here. Java. Okay, URL changed and template also changed. Contact us. So company name, fax, email ID, phone number, all these are displaying and URL also changed. So no need to redirect entire page. Okay, just only display the template in the main index.html form. Okay, this is the main goal for the AngularJS application. Okay, single page application is the very important concept in AngularJS. Okay, so all applications are implementing using single page application only. So this is the configuration for the routing. Okay, use UL tag and implement navigations menus and provide the routing. Okay, products like this slashes. Okay, slash and template name. So here when if you click on products, the products .html form is displayed. If you click on .NET menu, this template is displayed in the index.html form in ng view directive. Next here one more thing. Here showing localhost 52.155 ng root. Okay, like this it is showing, but you want to display uh, form name. Okay, like a contact as courses. Okay, .NET Java and home. So here one more small code is there. Okay, this is the app.run method and root scope. Root scope is the total entire. This is the root scope and function. So on method is uh, so on method execute the events. Okay, when it's dispatched by scope, so that the title is displayed in the root scope dot my title variable. My title variable here in table tag bind that variable here. Okay, my title variable. So in my title variable, names, okay, form names is displayed. Okay, now home, products, and contact us. Okay, Java. So like this we can change the form names, the form title. Okay, this is the example of ng root directive. Next one is ng href directive. So ng href directive is used to bind the links from the database. Okay, normal href attribute only uh, provide the routing link to the anchor tag, but nghref directive is used to bind the routing URL from the database. Dynamically we can bind into the anchor tag. To dynamically create URL from a property in scope, use ng href instead of href tag, href attribute. For example, company mail ID is there, like a website. Okay, website, a tag, and use only href tag to apply the URL http, okay, www.cybersys.com. Okay, but we can bind this URL from the database also. Use ng href attribute, and bind that link using expression. So in contact us controller, okay, contact us controller, app.controller, contact controller, function, scope, scope dot okay, web link is the scope variable. Okay, and apply URL here. So this web link variable contains this URL, and use that variable here. Okay, cybersys and target equal to blank. So when you click on this link, so the URL is open in the new tab. Okay, now refresh this example once. Okay, contact us. Okay, click on this cybersys. Okay, the website is opening here. Okay, so like this we can bind the URLs from the database. Okay, in real-time applications, this value is coming from the database. Okay, directly we are given here, but this value is coming from database in the controller. Next one, ng source directive. ng source directive is used to prevent the browser from loading the resources before the handle bar get passed. So like in Gmail, okay, if you logged in here, if you log in Gmail, okay, this link is profile image is displaying like this, okay, and if you log in another account, that profile image is displayed here, okay, profile image. So like to bind the image path like that, use ng source directive image ng source. So we have the image, okay, in css desert.jpg. Okay, so bind that image name here, the profile pic. Okay, this variable contains the image name. Desert.jpg. Okay, so now run this example. Contact us. Okay, we need to close the image tag and alt equal to profile pic. Okay, images came here, but image not displaying. Desert.jpg. Okay, so in AngularJS, don't call the image, okay, to the local path. Okay, call that image from application folder only. Okay, images folder is there. In that images we have desert.jpg file. Okay, image folder desert.jpg. In images folder. So now run this example once. Then go to contact us. So now image is displaying here. So you can resize the image, okay, using style attribute height 30 pixels and width 30 pixels. Okay, so this is the, so like this we can display the profile image. Okay, these images are binding from the controller or database. Okay, next ng disable directive. Ng disable directive is used to disable the controls like HTML controls. So like read only, okay, you can apply read only property, or directly you can enable or disable, okay, using ng disable directive. So in Java template, we have one uh, text box, type equal to text box, okay, and ng disabled equal to not my flag ng disabled that also accept only two values, like that is true or false. Okay, so this is not symbol. If my flag is true, false is applied. If my flag is false, true is applied. Otherwise we can remove also this. In Java controller, app dot controller Java controller function scope scope dot my flag equal to true. Okay, so if my flag is true, disabled equal to true. Okay, so user cannot enter the input in text box. In Java, okay, text box is not enabled, so the text box is disabled, so that user cannot enter any text in that text box. And add one button here. Okay, we can apply toggle for the text ng disabled, input type equal to button and value equal to enable or disable, and ng click equal to function disabled. Okay, close this button. So this is the function. When you click on this button, this function is executed in the Java controller. Okay, function scope dot my flag equal to not scope dot my flag. Okay, if my flag is true here, if my flag is true, then false is applied here. If my flag is false here, true is applied. Now run this example. One button is there, click on button, the text box is enabled here, user can enter input data, disable, so the text box is disabled here, user cannot enter, and enable, disable. Okay, so like this we can enable or disable the controls. Next, ng checked directive. So ng checked directive also same. Okay, checkboxes. To apply the checkboxes, checked option in Java controller, one checkbox, two checkboxes is there. Uh, like HTML and CSS. Okay, so call this function in controller scope dot function Okay, return true. If return is true, the checkbox is checked. If return false, the checkbox is unchecked. Scope dot get checked true equal to function return true. Check this example. Okay, so the CSS is checked here. Okay, by default is selected checked. You can check HTML also and uncheck also, both. But the default is this is true, so that the CSS checkbox is selected. Next, ng read-only directive. This read-only directive is used to apply the read-only to the text boxes. Okay, like disable. Okay, user can read the data. Okay, but he cannot change. AngularJS read-only directive is used to make DOM elements read-only. Okay, it traverses all DOM elements with the read-only property and make the element read-only. So once you use this text box, okay, text box first name. So we can apply read-only true or false. Okay, we can bind this true value from controller also. Directly here we can give. Okay, so user cannot enter any text in this text box. So value is this is read-only text box. Okay, so from controller we can bind the text to the text box. Scope dot sample text equal to okay, this sample text is bind to the text box. Ng bind directive, and here we can use sample text. Read-only property. ng model. Okay, so here ng model is here. Read only true ng model. Okay, so the text is displaying from controller. Okay, but user cannot change this text. Okay, only he can read the content in the text box. So this is the read only property. Next, ng selected directive. ng selected directive is used to select the default values in the drop down list. For example, take one drop down list, select element, and this element contains number of status names. Okay, active, inactive. Okay, so like that. Use this element here. Select element ng model. So make selected value is uploaded here, and ng options. ng options directive is used to bind the number of options from the controller. Okay, and this is the id, and the name from my status is the scope variable. This contains number of statuses. Okay, so my status is the scope variable. This variable contains available, busy, idle, offline status, and make selected is the variable. Okay, so this variable contains default selected value. Okay, scope dot my status of 2 is busy. Okay, and dot id. So this is the selected value. Okay, so make selected value, it will show the default selected value from the list of statuses using this statement. So run this example. Okay, so this is the drop down list. Here contains available, busy, idle, and offline, but default selected value is busy. So you can select another also. So this one. Here you can change the selected value. Okay, default selected value. Okay, now available is default selected value. Okay, my status is the variable, and this is the object data type. This object data type contains id and a name, id and name. Okay, so this is the index number, and this is the name. So based on index number, we can give the default index value, selected index value. Okay, sat is the alias name for. Okay, so every time takes one value. Okay, one status from my status collection. Okay, so this is the variable. So this variable contains the status name and id. Stat.id as stat.name. So as name is showing, id is hidden in the drop down list. Okay, id displaying as name.